Hey, Vinyl Community, Jeff here again. Yes, I am. Anyway, so this time around, we're going to take a look at some albums that I got. If you missed it, it's probably too late now. But a couple weeks ago, the site, The Sound of Vinyl, they were giving away albums. Just pay shipping. Yeah, there's always that. Just pay shipping. But they had, and I've seen other people show them, and I've seen other people get some albums that they didn't have by the time I found out about this, or by the time I noticed it. I got an email. I went right over to it and checked it out. But there were some albums that other people had gotten that were not there. But I did find some stuff, so let's show this. I've been holding off because these actually, half of these came in. This was all before Thanksgiving, so it was a couple weeks ago now. Couple of them, handful of them came in, and then there were like a couple that were still waiting to be shipped, to the point where I had to write them last week, and I'm like, if these haven't been shipped like by tomorrow, I need you to ship them to a different address, because, you know, I ordered these to come here to South Carolina. I'm only here for a couple more days, and then I'm headed home. And even though my wife will be here for a couple more weeks, she can get them for me, but I'm hoping to go ahead and redirect the remaining amount to my home address. But as soon as I sent that email, like the next day, 2 more went out, but that still leaves 2 in limbo, not shipped yet. So, but let's take a look at what we got. So I went ahead and I've got the majority of them. Not going to wait for the last 2 stragglers. Let's go ahead and do this. So this was a real find for me. I still didn't have moving pictures on vinyl. So, you know, I decided to grab this. This is the 40th anniversary edition. It's a gatefold. I don't know if it's anything special about it. There's a box set of this one, wasn't there? And maybe this is just the album portion of it. It's a gatefold. It's got this lyric sheet for Tom Sawyer. Other than that, nothing fancy. Just your standard black picture thing, everything there. But yeah, so I sadly did not have a vinyl copy of that yet. So that was good to get. This one I went ahead and grabbed. I listened to this online when it first came out. It didn't do much for me, but I need to give it more listens, and since it was free, I went ahead and picked up the McCartney 3 album. This, of course, is on green, colored record here. I don't know. It just didn't do much for me when I first heard it, but for free, I'll grab it. Now, of course, by free, free, pay shipping. I mean, when they charged, it was like maybe like $7 a record. Maybe 8. I forget. The 2 orders I had seemed like they were different because I had a couple double records and they charged more for that. So while it's not free, if you calculate how much it costs to ship, you know, they were probably selling these records for $5 or less, I guess, is about what it ends up being. Anyway, I went ahead and picked up the new one from Pearl Jam. This was one of the double records. Gigaton by Pearl Jam. This is I guess, one of the newer albums. I remember seeing this when it came out. And after I bought it, I did notice there are other editions of it. This is a 3 sides album. So one side is etched. There's different etchings. And then there's also a version that has a single. This one does not have the single. But it is, it's a black record. It's double record. Like I say, one side is etched. Then it's got the book in here that kind of looks like a little mini tour book. But it's, you know, it's got lyrics and stuff in there. So yeah, I went ahead and grabbed this. Again, the double record set. Shipping was a little more on this, but figured it was worth it for the few bucks that they were charging. The rest of these are pretty much just whole fillers. Picked up Billy Idol. I did not have this one. I have Rebel Yell. And I might have another one, but I think, anyway, this one obviously is the one you want to get. It's White Wedding and all that on here. So I went ahead and get that. I want nothing fancy about these. I'm not going to spend much time on these. Most of these are reissues. All the rest of these, there's 3 more. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. So I picked up a bunch of Tom Petty albums, Long After Dark. These are, it looks like these were reissued in 2022. Maybe even early 2023, even though the dates on them tend to be 2016, 2017, 2018. A lot of these are just represses of the ones that came out in the studio box set from a couple years ago. Same remaster and everything. Long After Dark, Full Moon Fever. The funny thing I think about buying these was literally about a day or 2 before I got the Sound of Vinyl email. My wife and I sat here and watched the Tom Petty Wildflowers commentary on one of the channels. Not if it was on Prime or one of those channels. It was out there, and we watched that. And I'm like, that's cool. Reminded me, I mean, I have the Wildflowers, the reissue, the alternate takes and stuff. But I'd say, I still have a long way to go with the other records. And then, like, the next day or the day after that, I get this thing, and there's all these Tom Petty albums on there. So I got Full Moon Fever and Let Me Up, I've Had Enough. And one of the other ones that has yet to come is Southern Accents. That's one of the ones that's missing. And then the other album that has not come is the double record set, the Almost Famous soundtrack. And that has not come. So those two are stragglers. They're out there somewhere, and hopefully they'll be shipped soon, and hopefully they'll give them to the right address, or they'll get them here before my wife leaves. Anyway, so there you go. Just a handful of hole fillers for the most part. But, for real cheap like that, it was worth it to go ahead and grab some of those. They had a lot of other stuff that I didn't really recognize, so I just grabbed the stuff that was more up my alley and grabbed those for hole fillers. Anyway, that's it for this one. Just a quick one to show you some of the stuff I got. Hopefully you took advantage of some of this, because even though free wasn't free with the shipping, it was still really cheap. So for brand new albums, great stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Rock on and rock hard.